Hello everybody, my name's Paul Tace. In this video we're going to look at how we can make tilt-shift pictures. This is going to take an image of something that's life-size and make it look miniature. Now the reason I've decided to do this is because drones are really great for getting the kinds of shot we need to do this, and it's quick and easy to do. I'm going to be using Photoshop, so this is why I've been putting it off for a while showing how to use it, because I think there might be a lot of people who might not have Photoshop. Let me know in the comment section down below if that applies to you, and I'll try to think of another way of doing this. Now there's a few things we've got to bear in mind before we do this. The first one is that if we get a picture that doesn't have much of a foreground or much of a background, and we do it on this one. So now once we've added the tilt shift effect, you can see this picture here. You can't really tell it's happened that much. It just looks a bit odd. The background's slightly focused, so there's not enough detail to show that it's gone blurred. And another time it won't work is if there's something big on the side of the screen, like this tree here. It's actually a bit wonky. There we go, that's better. So as we can see here, we've got this tree on the side. So now if I add the shift tilt effect, we can see it's kind of worked, but it looks really odd here on this part of the tree because the top half's blurry and the bottom half's blurry, but the middle's not. So it hasn't quite worked that well. But if we crop this in, you can see that looks a lot better. Again, it's still a bit wonky there. Let's straighten that up. There we go, and that kind of works really. So as I said, I'm going to show you how to do it on this picture here. Now the first thing I want to do is crop it in, so I'm going to press C, and this should bring up this grid here, and then I can drag the corners to where I want it to be. Now ideally when I've taken this photo, I would have just taken it at this range rather than started further back and cropping in. Next I'm going to do is double click, and this will crop it in. From here I'm going to press Ctrl 0, and then Ctrl minus, and what that does is zooms in so it fills the screen and then drops it back a little bit. Next thing I'm going to do is go into the layers window. If you don't have this here, you can go into window, select layers, and then it'll turn up down here. I'm going to click on that little padlock so it disappears. This will mean that our image is now unlocked. I can then right click on where it says layer and then go to convert to smart object. I'm converting it to a smart object, so once we've done this effect, if we want to change it at all, we can do that very easily. It may not make sense now, but it will become apparent later on. Next, I'm going to go into filter, go down to blur gallery, and then go into tilt shift. And then from here, we'll get this appear. So I've got this little pin here. Now, wherever I click, I'm going to put in another icon or something that will be in focus. So I actually don't want lots of these dots. I was just showing you what it did. So I'm going to delete the extra dots I've just put in. And then we're going to come back to this original one. So from here, if I want to make everything in the background more blurry, I can drag this around. And then if I want it less blurry, I can put it back to 0. And then when it's 0, it's like it was when we first started. For me, I quite like it about there. And then I've got these two solid lines. Everything between these two solid lines is going to be in focus. And for me, I just want that to be the car park. Now these dotted lines are where everything's going to be completely blurred. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down and bring this up. And then between the solid line and the dotted line, this is going to be like a feathered blur. So it's a gradual blur. Next, we're going to have a look at some effects. So these aren't really necessary. It will just pump up the light a bit too much. Particularly if you've got sky on your picture. I haven't, so you can't really see it. But the noise can be really useful. If we push this up a little bit, push the size up and the roughness up, it gives it a bit more of a grainy texture, and it can really sell the effect that we've zoomed in a lot. Once you're happy with your composition, you can go up the top and press OK. And there's our picture. Now, as I was saying before at the beginning, we've turned it into a smart object, so this down here will appear. If I'm not happy with my picture, I can just click on where it says blur gallery, and then I can change whatever I want to change. But I'm actually quite happy with it, so I'm just going to press cancel. From here, I might actually just want to add in a bit of saturation to make it look a bit more unnatural and not so real looking. So I'm going to press Ctrl U, and this brings up our huge saturation graph, and I can just put in a little bit more vibrance there and press OK. So there we go, guys. Once you're done, you can just save that and post it on Instagram or whatever you do with your pictures. Now, I hope you found this video useful. Hitting that like button is a huge help to me as a creator. I know I'm going in the right direction, and I hope to see you in the next one.